Welcome to The Current, where we discuss current events. And now we've got hot off the press current events, extremely current events. It appears as though extreme. Yeah. It seems as though Twitter may be willing to look at Elon's offer and sell Twitter to Elon Musk, where it's been talked about that they're not going to do it, poison pill, and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden a new leaf flipped over, and yeah, I think we'll sell.
Actually, the reports as of filming this, nothing's official yet, but
Correct.
Everything I saw is like, yeah, they're going to sign the deal.
Yep.
Monday, today, when we're filming. So
today, yep. Stock went up 3.5% just from that announcement. The stock in Twitter went up.
So Elon Musk is going to own Twitter.
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, is it? There's a hype button in the background. How does that work? Is it? I don't know any of the details of the deal or anything. Obviously, nobody does. But he wants to buy it and turn it into a private company because it's not private right now. I thought they were a private company.
Well, is it publicly traded? It must if stock prices went up.
Yes, it is.
So maybe it's not going to be a public company in that sense that he will own it.
100%, just him. There was talk earlier last week about him going in with some other investors too.
Yep.
Just to kind of, that was his, I think he called it Plan B or something.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So,
well, what kind of a social media platform is this? Is it really popular? It's
one of the top two.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's TikTok and Twitter.
TikTok and Twitter. So it's way up. And this whole cancel thing and people fact checking all of that, we're assuming, or I assume, I don't know that much about it, but that it's all kind of controlled by a liberal control in a sense.
For the most part, yes.
And so would this be the first very popular social media that wouldn't be controlled by a liberal agenda?
it could be. That certainly seems to be. I don't know if Elon is necessarily conservative, but he's definitely not extreme liberal, progressive, woke sort of thing. Right. And so I think some of the excitement and hype about this is Twitter and Facebook have been, in the last 2 years, some of the most oppressive towards free speech.
Yeah.
And so I think the hope is, look, Elon, if he owns this, boom, the floodgates are going to open again. There's not going to be people being canceled. I know there's probably a lot of people that would be excited to welcome Trump back onto Twitter and that whole kind of, we're not going to play this woke game anymore. Twitter is now going to be a private company owned by somebody who's open to free speech and let the floodgates open.
The hope is that he's not going to fact check or cancel anybody. Pretty much, opinions are opinions. Let's get back to you disagree with me. That's good.
That's fine. I think that's the idealistic hope, but that's where I don't know. So Elon buys it as a does he just set the rules then? That's the part I don't really understand. Is there going to be a board of a board of directors? Are there going to be shareholders? Is it still going to be somewhat traded? I don't know any of what this actually means, though.
Right. Yeah. Right. And the whole thought was, he's a huge proponent of free speech. He believes that everyone should be able to just say what.
So that would be the
speak
big,
their mind.
The big news here. Otherwise, this ain't news. One company owners transfer to other company owners, and nothing changes.
Correct.
So the big breaking news is
there's
that
potential.
Twitter will no longer be controlling people's opinions and speech by, if I don't like it, I'm going to cancel you, whoever I is, and be more open to. We are assuming not going to be judged, everything on there. Say what you want to say.
Yeah. What's funny is a few years ago, this might be 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, used to be, I think he's kind of out of that now, or somebody else is the CEO now. Anyway, he made a bid and got it to purchase the Washington Times or some big Washington newspaper. I don't know if you remember that. And everybody on Twitter and everybody else is like, yes, wow, what a great step forward for culture and blah, 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 and all this. Well, like last week, I saw the same Twitter account post Elon Musk bid to buy Twitter is now like the worst thing ever and shows how far back we're going. And like somebody screenshotted both of them, but like 3 years separated.
This didn't age well. One of those.
Yeah,
things?
one of these like, oh my God, if we like the person who's buying it
It's
and
good
like
news.
their agenda, this is awesome. But if we don't, stay away. So
Yep.
So
the
I
heck?
hear a lot, and I don't know the facts, but I hear a lot that much of media is controlled by left-wing agenda, liberal kind of thinking.
Over half for sure.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Okay. So would this be a move towards a media outlet being more balanced?
I assume so. Yes.
Okay.
That's my assumption. I think that's not everybody's, but I think that's actually the majority of people's hope. Even just the news of this deal potentially being accepted shot Twitter stock up. So, okay, shot it up. What was it? 3 or 4%?
Yeah,
Not
but
major,
over the past month, because of this interaction, it's gone up 30%. So that's a big jump.
So
over
Elon
this
has
news.
to pay
Elon-
more for it.
So Elon owned 14 something percent, and then they took the poison pill, which washed his down to like 9%. Could this all just be a big ploy from him to just look? We're gonna shoot it way up, and guess what? And take his money and run. I don't know. I have no idea.
It'd be a great play.
Man, that'd be a real kind of jerk move to do.
To the
but
stockholders, yeah.
he doesn't seem to be, like, I know him personally. He doesn't seem to be that sort of person who would do that.
How hard is it to start a new one?
And gain the traction that one
Pretty
that's
challenging.
that exists already has, especially the traction that Twitter has.
Couldn't
That would
somebody
be
with the
difficult.
money, though, of this Elon Musk guy, couldn't somebody with that kind of money just start a new platform and not have to buy the other one?
Well, I know Trump did. He tried to start his own, I think it was called like Truth Platform or something like that. And it was all, big and hyped coming out. And I'm not sure I've heard anything about it since.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's as easy to start as maybe another sort of business venture would be.
It's just like Google, they've been known as the woke company. So the woke search engine type stuff. So DuckDuckGo came out, and someone made this DuckDuckGo and it's free and it's unfiltered and blah, blah, blah. Well, now they're filtering stuff. So
But even that, I mean, what percentage of the population knows about DuckDuckGo?
Yeah.
Or all of the, there's probably 4 or 5 even other ones like that.
Sure.
You just can't, nobody, just Google it.
just Google
It's
it.
just a part of our
It's-
vernacular now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
It's become a verb.
I think the thing that
I'll go do this,
intrigues me the most about this is to see where free speech goes from this. Like we've dealt with, I mean, long before even the last election, I'd probably say since Trump was in office or first got elected, this huge just uprising in cancel culture, and we can't share opinions anymore and all that. So I'm looking forward to, and I think our country's at a point where a lot of people are getting fed up with it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the tides might change back towards First Amendment rights and being able to just share an unfiltered opinion and go on with your life afterwards, no matter what it is.
or an unpopular opinion.
Or an unpopular opinion or whatever, So, like, I think especially for Christianity, free speech is awesome. And, like, the risk of losing that over the past 5 to 6 years is very worrisome, Not like we're obviously still going to share, even if free speech is taken away. But the fact that it might be reopening up again, I think is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a slow thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's all just mind-boggling to me that somebody owns the alphabet and I can't say these letters together
In this specific
anymore.
order?
You know, like it's just. And who said that? Who started it? And is it even true? I can say it. I've said it yesterday. I never got shot or put in prison. I don't know. Where is this? I know there's pressure from a segment of our culture, but not from everybody.
Yeah. It's just that segment is the loudest.
Well, what does that segment control?
lot.
What were we talking earlier?
Yeah.
Does that segment control the media? Control the actual news sources that we generally run by?
Seemingly. Yes.
Does that source control most of our entertainment and most of the things that we do publicly? Yeah, that's concerning to me, because I just say, well, why? I doubt if that's still a majority of human beings in America.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But the majority of human beings in America just be quiet and go about our daily lives and go to work and raise our kids and, the silent majority.
Yeah.
But I think there's becoming unrest with being the majority and being silent. So I think this is now, here's what could happen. Elon buys the company and all the other powers that be, the media and all the other places. Well, everybody pulls out of Twitter and it just becomes a dying platform. I mean, that's certainly a possibility.
Everybody.
I
don't understand.
In my mind, Twitter is mainly seen as a place where professionals or known people, I mean, a lot of people have a Twitter account, but nobody cares. It's all the big names.
Yeah. The ones that people follow.
Have Twitter accounts, and that's where they can post thoughts or whatever sort of thing. If a lot of left-leaning people pull media's accounts, news stations, whatever. I mean, if there's 100 different media things, right, and Elon buys one, well, the other 99 can just all pull out. Now Twitter is a dead platform. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know how else to explain it.
It'd be like stock. You understand stock. Well, if all of the other stockholders other than Elon
but they're not stockholders. Nobody controls this but Elon Musk.
See, that's the part I don't understand.
But if he dumps it and people just stop using Twitter, it becomes a dead platform. Nobody's using that. It's like, yeah, I own this. Okay, well, we're going to take our ball and go over here.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake is a majority owner of MySpace. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about
MySpace is still not being used. Yeah,
I own shares of Napster. Okay, good for you.
That's awesome. I got
the wheels aren't clicking. No. I can tell. How do we relate this to dead animals? I'm at a loss for words here.
Oh yeah.
Well, I see you have all of these mechanisms, platforms, whatever you call them, that we can go on social media. We can choose channel 4, 5, 9, or 11.
Right.
So if they're all kind of one way, and somebody says, no, channel 4 is going neutral this way, my understanding is people using it makes it valid or not corporations saying, I'm not going to fund you or I'm pulling out. I don't, what do we care if other people, it's people using it. And my assumption is there's enough balanced thinkers in America that would keep going.
I think where that analogy breaks down is there's way more channels than just those 4 you listed. But if all the other channels now say channel 4, not trusted, don't use it, it'd be like a camera, right? Elon buys this camera company that all the news stations use. Well, now this camera only shoots neutral news. Well, if everybody else is, no, we're not going to use it anymore. We're not going to talk about it. Even though it was great 2 weeks ago and we all used it, now we're not going to. Well, now the camera is obsolete.
But wouldn't all the neutral camera lovers keep using it? And isn't there a 70 to 30% volume there?
Maybe, but all the neutral camera lovers like me, I don't have a Twitter account. I don't use Twitter. I'm not going to, like, even if Elon buys it, I'm not going to go start a Twitter account. So, like, it doesn't direct. I'm not going to go buy a new camera now.
Earlier we just said it was in the top 2 social media channels.
It is.
Yeah.
Or however you want to call it. Platform, channel,
Yeah.
feed, whatever.
Yep.
So
He's learning so many new
the
words. Isn't it great?
if the other platforms say I don't like it, say, well, that's why we're a separate platform. I wouldn't expect you to like it. You're the direct competition. I wouldn't expect you to use it, like it, or endorse it, or what. I would expect you to be against it because you're my direct competition. So I don't get how that would affect it.
I think there's a perception that everybody else creates that can either make or break Twitter. That's the thing. We're not. There's a perception
said earlier,
created.
General population is getting sick of this cancel culture,
Yep.
and so
Yep.
I don't care if the cancel people want to cancel it. We understand them,
Yep.
so we're going to use it even more.
I think that was the intention behind this social platform that Trump started. It just never went anywhere, at least as of right now. I don't foresee that happening either. That's why I don't think it's going to change everything. I think it's just a glimmer of hope that things might start changing. That's where I think the appeal of this comes from. I don't think Elon buying Twitter is literally going to change a dang thing. But I think it's a sign or a signal of, I don't think the American population wants to put up with this wokeism.
And it's showing the woke. There's a phrase, it's go woke, go broke kind of a thing. And that's with companies like CNN just last month put out a streaming service, CNN Plus. It made it 23 days and they canceled it.
Who canceled it?
CNN.
Because it wasn't making money.
Because nobody was signing up for it.
I don't want to watch CNN number 1, let alone pay to watch CNN.
Yeah. And then there's the Disney stuff that's going on where Disney stock is just tanking right now because of a video we did earlier a few weeks ago about the Don't Say Gay bill.
Oh, yeah.
And their support of that. And the stockholders are not happy about that, and they pulled out, and stocks are tanking for Disney because of the woke agenda that they're pushing.
You're saying people like it or don't like it?
That's what he's saying, is there's a turning point where more people are like, no, we're not going to put up with this anymore. We're tired of woke culture and I can't think of the word.
Politically correct.
Yeah, the PC crowd. The PC crowd is the silent majority is starting to speak up. And they're voting with their money.
We've probably all experienced people who are extremely right-wing conspiracy theorists who.
Oh yeah.
And you can't talk any sense to them.
No,
I mean,
not
they
at all.
They just don't take a step back and ponder this.
Just think about it for a second.
Well,
what you're saying.
And we've all seen
The
extreme.
Earth is flat and birds aren't real.
Yeah, okay.
What? We can't even, you know what? There's no common ground to
Right.
even talk anymore.
Right.
So let's assume, I'm making these numbers up, let's assume there's 10% of the population and that we're not even trying to reach them or trying to change them because we know they don't change. They just really
There's
don't.
no possibility.
But the same thing on the far left, that there are people, no amount of logic or reasoning on a chalkboard, 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4 to those people. They don't
but
want
what
it
if I don't
to.
want it to? Yeah.
That's the point. So we kind of know, and I think most people know, the goal isn't to change those people. We got to just manage life with those people on both ends. But where is the 80% of America And that's where you're talking about doing a shift, or
That's where I see signs of maybe things are starting to change. And like I said a few minutes ago, that's like, to me, maybe this is a bad thing for Christianity, because Christianity typically does well under persecution, but the idea of not sensing so much political pressure to be more open with Christian truth sounds like, oh, good, I'm glad this is happening. So that's where I think, ultimately, who cares about Twitter? I don't care. I'm not.
Yeah, it's not affecting
I don't
your
know.
life at all.
It's not affecting my life. It's not gonna affect my life. Just this isolated Elon Musk Twitter, whatever happens, happens. But some of the ramifications of it and some of what I perceive as a tide turning in our country, to me sound like, oh, we might be getting back to the America that was started, a couple centuries ago, and the America I enjoyed the most, and some more freedom to share Christianity without having to be so tiptoeing around issues.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've always had that same theory. There's way far left and way far right. Truth is always somewhere in the middle.
You can't deal with either
But
side.
you don't want to go off too far left or right. No. You really don't.
I do think the middle has went left, in my opinion. The middle is left.
It's
of
pulling
where
left, yes.
Proper middle should be. Well, from whose perspective? From American history perspective.
When you've got people like 10 years ago, Joe Rogan and Bill Maher and these sorts of big personalities were considered liberal. Not even just moderate, just outright liberal.
Yep.
And now today in current conversations seem conservative. And they both say, I haven't changed. I'm saying the same things I always have. I believe the same things I always have. It's just the left has moved so far that I look
extreme
right now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely evidence to back that up.
Yeah. Years and years ago, Roseanne had this thing because she's known now as a conservative. And she was in an interview and said,
even believe
"Yeah,
that?
yeah, that
What?
makes no sense."
Yeah.
No.
But she said, "What made you switch?" She was in an interview, and the interviewer asked, "What made you switch parties?" And she said, "I didn't switch. I stayed where I was. They moved." And now what I believe lines up more this way.
Yeah.
Maybe with stuff
change.
like Twitter, with stuff like, do you know who the Daily Wire is? Ben Shapiro's like the big kind of name.
I've heard
on
some
there.
of his clips.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
Daily
He's
Wire.
like their main kind of personality in this big company called the Daily Wire. PragerU sort of stuff. Although I haven't heard much from them in a while.
They have gone kind of quiet.
They have.
Yeah.
But anyway, if some of these big, the thing with Daily Wire was they're starting their own new like kids entertainment stuff so that kids shows aren't all this woke leftist agenda. The owner or CEO or whatever started his own razor brand because the other razors who support, and big deal. But if more of these companies, the Daily Wire's thing is like if you want a different culture, you have to create it or something. I probably butchered that quote. But they're starting to shift towards, no, we're not going to play this game anymore. We're not going to bow to you 10% of extreme liberals who get offended when we say the sky is blue. We're not going to play that game. We're going to be neutral or true or open, whatever you want to call it. Seems to me like this constant move to the left over the past 2 decades might start slowly shifting back towards moderacy. Is that a word? Moderacy? It is now.
Can be.
So
Yeah.
you should check your phone. As of recording this, did the deal go through? Did
I'm gonna look.
Twitter
I had
accept
it up.
Elon's bid?
As of recording this, not yet. Doesn't look like it.
Not yet.
But
I
it was-
wonder if by the time this video is released, it will have gone through.
My guess
knows?
is it's still going to be a publicly traded company. He's just going to be the head of it, which will bring different rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't see it going full private and no more shares. That just I
can't
can't see
imagine.
that happening. So
The sky is falling, apparently. I'm seeing that in a
Is
bunch of
everybody
articles.
on Twitter losing
What
their
happens if Elon Musk buys Twitter? It would never be the same again.
Well, ain't that the point? You don't want
Yeah,
it to be.
I think that's the whole reason he wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Is because we don't want it to be the same anymore.
You would think someone with a different ideology is going to come in and take it over.
This whole concept weird. Do you have a Twitter account? I ask rhetorically.
Can I get it at the bank?
And you don't have a Twitter account.
No.
And I don't have a Twitter account. Do you know anybody personally who has a Twitter account?
And how would I know that?
No. Do you know
I actually
any
don't.
personal friend, family, colleague, old colleague who has a Twitter account, an active using Twitter account?
No.
Does Johnny have a Twitter account?
Of course, Johnny
okay.
has a Twitter account.
Does he?
We now know somebody. Outside of Johnny, I know nobody. So how long have we been recording?
I don't know.
20 minutes?
20 minutes-ish.
Just spent 20 minutes talking about something that has had no effect on any of us.
Well, it has.
Anybody we know.
Because we know that
Well, yeah.
President Trump was a
down.
big Twitter,
That's
and we
true.
know that that has an effect on us.
That's true. Okay.
The once
I guess.
the once far-fetched prospect of Musk taking control of Twitter as a private company follows several weeks in which the world's richest man has publicly stoked speculation about his intentions, and now they may come true. Wow. Yep. 43 bill. $43 billion. What? In cash.
He's got it cash?
In cash. it
No
says.
way.
It was reported, yeah.
Where
43
does
bill
somebody
in
get
cash.
that kind of liquid cash? I thought his whole thing was he's going to have to share or sell some Tesla stock and rework some other investments. Because I've heard, like, Elon Musk doesn't live like a billionaire. Like, he
Right.
will sometimes sleep on friends' couches and doesn't have, like, a mega yacht and all these. Like, he doesn't live like your average billionaire. Where does one come up with?
He actually has purpose.
Where does one come up with $43 billion of cash?
Apparently, yeah, he did. But maybe he made all of those arrangements. Maybe he sold some Twitter or Tesla stock. And
Can I go to the bank?
yeah.
I only want $300 million.
I couldn't imagine going to like
What's the
bank in
volume
town
of $43
or
billion in dollar bills?
Oh, truckloads.
Say, can I get
truckloads?
43
How do you
billion?
even measure
In
it?
$100 bills would
Yeah.
be truckloads.
Truckloads.
yeah.
Someone do the math and leave it in the comments. I'm just interested in the
insane.
cubic feet.
Volume
Volume
Yeah,
of
sheer
$100
$100
bills.
bills.
Yep.
to make $43 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be
interesting.
different
How
if he
about
said he's
1
going to write a
billion?
check.
We can multiply it, but $1 billion.
$1 billion. What does that look like? Like physically look like? I'm looking
That's
at
why he
$43
built
billion.
that huge plant in Texas.
That's
That's
it.
where all the
That's
$100
money
bills
is.
are stored. It's like Uncle Scrooge's money bin.
He jumps in and swims in it.
Swimming through the money.
So how did he make all his money?
Tesla, SpaceX, some other. He's actually been really rich for a long time. He's had a lot of companies that have been very
How much
profitable.
was it inherited?
Okay, don't quote me on this. I don't think any of it. I literally don't think any
I'm
of
not
it.
sure he was born into it.
So we put people who throw a ball on cover of Wheaties, and we don't have an Elon Musk on the cover. I don't get this.
The people who throw a ball are paupers compared to Elon Musk's wealth.
So why doesn't he get on the cover of things? Why isn't he like something we look up to? This man has helped culture, helped people, made lives better.
Created thousands of jobs.
Upon thousands, created it. I mean, so much, and did it all because he worked hard, had a plan, and brilliant. I'm assuming.
Very.
Well, why don't we? And we care about who, Captain Jack or something. Why would we even care about that compared?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You know what though? He doesn't play by PC culture rules.
Oh, so he's smart.
So they can't lift him up because, like Trump, nobody knows what he's going to say, and he's not going to bow to the woke gods. So we can't promote free thinking, obviously.
No.
Did you see? I saw a clip. This was maybe like a week ago when Twitter took the poison pill. A news lady anchor on live air said, if Elon buys Twitter, well, then he's going to control the way people think. And that's our job.
And that's our job.
Literally,
I did see that.
on-air
I saw that clip.
news.
And that's our job.
Control how people think.
Then that's our
And that's
job.
our job. Yeah. I
So-
saw that.
Anyway.
So if that tells you anything.
So Twitter.
Yeah. So
Elon
Twitter.
Musk.
Hey, best of luck to you, Elon.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, rooting for you. Yep.
I'm not going to buy a Tesla.
Probably not. I'm not going to get a Twitter account either.
And
But
I'm not
hey,
going to do that.
And
But-
if you're as smart and rich and doing as much as you are, you will never see this.
Yeah, never.
You know what, though? He went on a podcast for the Babylon Bee.
Wow. I
Little,
didn't know that. He did, huh?
Yeah, it was like an hour or two conversation with like three guys from the Babylon. Christian satire. Like nobody, farting against thunder of media outlets.
Yeah.
And he went on there and had a conversation and just talked to him and like just your regular old guy drinking a White Claw, I think it was. And
Yeah.
like just.
So this is a invitation, a personal invitation to Elon. If you would like to come on and chat with us,
We would love that.
That would be fantastic.
We wouldn't even charge you anything. Okay.
No, free of charge.
We're not paying you anything either. But, you know.
If we could have the change in your Tesla, that'd be awesome.
Changing his friend's couch cushions after he sleeps on it. Yeah. Yeah. That would be amazing. All right. Cool.
So-
All right. Well, next time something comes up,
We'll be here.
we'll be here. Yeah. Thanks for watching The Current.